So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for making some time today. This is important to us. On behalf of the Mobierge team, we'd like to thank everyone for making the time today to hear about our quest to become the premier digital solutions provider. Also, a special thank you to Maggie and John for allowing us to tell our story today. My name is Alex Canwitz. I'm CEO of Mobierge, leading the charge with the team to dominate a sector in the hotel resort luxury market. The genesis of Mobierge actually started with a conversation that I had with one of the executive directors, general manager, president of a hotel resort in a chance meeting for dinner. And during that period of time, he talked about the issues that they had with digital, what they had with their guests, the challenges that they had with maintaining a really positive relationship and deepening a relationship with a guest. Some of those things included the improvement of revenue streams based on utilization of existing data that exists out in their systems, deepening the relationship long-term with those particular individuals that are visiting the hotel and resort, and optimizing that long-term relationship with solutions and with features that will allow a greater connect with that particular guest. Having said that, we actually walked through a number of scenarios. As sitting at dinner, he wanted to be able to send out to my wife, who has visited there before, an opportunity to go for a half off at the spa. And some of these things basically move that particular guest to the next event, and all during revenue stream opportunities. In addition to that, there are a lot of different challenges that exist in processing that relationship, and we'll speak to those here shortly. Next, please. So the 5 bullet here, no, we've got to go back one. There we go. So right here, we basically are talking about some very important things for Mobierge and for the brand owners. The first bullet here is basically getting the money. That's what the brands can expect, as well as the stakeholders in Mobierge. The brands are willing to reinvest in opportunities that make sense. We basically found an untapped market. We'll review this a little bit further in the presentation. We don't throw our technology over the fence like a lot of companies do that basically expect the brands to operate those technologies without any real guidance. We've been able to see a great deal of angst between the brand owner and technology companies that are Me Too technology companies that aren't offering a fully operational leveraged technology with a professional services team. So basically we can expect here is that from the sales and marketing technologies, we have found the right mix. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. Okay, so here's the problem. It's generic marketing at the brand level. There are no use of guest data and preferences that are in the mix right now. You as a guest know what you want. The brands have the data, but don't use it to optimize the relationship with you. Next, please. We found that solution. Targeted messaging informed by the individual guest's historical data and real-time location, perfectly timed, delivered in a mobile app when the guest is positioned right to act. So that brand and the guest are engaged before, during, and after the experience. Next, please. There's 3 big issues in the hospitality space right now, big goals, and they're documented. Improving the digital customer engagement, supporting new revenue opportunities, and improving guest analytics. Some of these things that they expect right now is to focus on prescriptive analytics and being able to anticipate through predictive marketing the next best campaign. We're able to accomplish that. Next, please. So this is what we do. We create those new revenue opportunities and build that brand loyalty. We're a proactive solution. We drive new revenue for the property through personalized communication with that guest, and we optimize the relationship for the guest and the brand to create that deep loyalty and long-term guest value. It's not so much about next year's budget that we're finding that brands are concerned with. They want to optimize the relationship and the lifetime relationship with that particular guest. Next, please. One of our solutions include a very powerful marketing and communications engine. Our web-based platform houses the tools needed to create perfectly timed communication with the guests that drive their behavior and deepen that loyalty. The data refinement tools that can segment down to the individual guest based on historical data, preferences, as well as location. The three real parts to the stool are the data, the location, and the loyalty. It keeps everything standing or sitting up straight and basically support the secret sauce here. In all, our messaging tools allow for any communication scenario delivered directly to the mobile phone with push notifications. We package it all up in a mobile app that's built and deployed in our platform, putting that data, the location, messaging, and the app into one powerful suite of tools that can be implemented at that property level, regional level, as well as corporate levels. And we'll talk a little bit about that as we move down the road here in our sales funnel. So here's a simple explanation of one of our solutions. Part of the challenge that was shared to me by the general manager of this hotel was his hotel was unique where it is a residential owned, unit owned hotel. They have great angst and relationship with the individual owners. So what they wanted to do is improve that relationship. Where the problem lied was in the communication, the data based on the unit owner's investment, and really kind of the mishmash of opportunity in order for them to have a really great relationship. So with that, I'll give Cody a little opportunity to share some of that angst as he's picked up as professional services. Cody?
Yeah, some of the real pain points here for this resident owner relationship are the inventory and how it's managed. So you have people who will book stays up to a year in advance. They could book out 50% of the year. They might only show up 10% of the time. You add that up, that's almost $1 million loss for the property every year. So just that little piece of managing the relationship, managing, releasing the rooms is a huge value to these properties. So in addition to that, there's the ancillary spending where we're moving guests around, the owner around when they're on property, moving them to the spa, all these last minute pieces. We're getting, an offer that needs to be taken advantage of right now. There's, 3 open spots, or it's a slow period. We're going to sell to them at a discounted rate because they're on property, they're engaged, they're invested. The other piece to this is our loyalty and rewards, investment visualization. So they're going to know how their property is performing. There's a huge investment component to this. Having that in their hand versus a quarterly statement is incredibly valuable. We've also built a booking calendar to pair with our loyalty program to incentivize the release of these rooms and also their booking so they can request when they need to step up, and either release their room when it's a high ADR day. So if it's like 4th of July, makes, a lot more money for the resort and, obviously helps their investment. And the way that we do this, as Alex talked about, leveraging this all with professional services, these properties have a very small bandwidth in the marketing department. They might have one part-time person. They might have a full-time person who's a lower-level marketing person being overseen by a regional director who has 3 or 4 properties under their belt. They don't have time to implement, let alone strategize at this level for mobile marketing, take advantage of these things. So what we do is we have a fully operated system. We basically run it for them, and through that, we amass a huge amount of data on the industry as a whole, but also this individual property. So we keep that relationship moving. We make sure that our retention rates are extremely high, and we build that relationship so we're engaged with them on the marketing level, the data level, and we keep it moving down the road.
So here's an example of a platform with mobile, with loyalty, with location from the casino hotel business. And when you look at visits, oh, I'm sorry, Eric, did we?
You have 1 minute left.
Okay, let's go back to this one, the platform. It's shocking. We doubled the number of visits. And perishable inventories, we're able to get rid of that inventory on the fly based on segmented down to the granular individual who may be in close proximity or may have a high interest in that particular offer. The competitors and the alternatives, mobile is hard. These companies right here are obviously focused on horizontal conveniences, basically give me some pillows. I want to move my room. There is no revenue creation. Those companies are Me Too companies. They compete away all the profit. They basically compete on price, where we're more of an enriched opportunity. So I realize that we're over, but the team is terrific. I'll start with George Kazanaki from Intel. His efficiencies have saved Intel billions of dollars over the year. Lynn is from the hotel casino space, very strong and run operations. Cody from a strategic agency and professional services is fantastic. Our advisors aren't just there as faces, they're there actively every single day. Mike Maloof from the hospitality investment banking space. Terry Jones, the founder of Travelocity and Kayak, very active in our technologies. Manaz has been able to walk us through C-level people, and the technology advisor is our architect of our platform. Thank you very much for everyone's time today. We do have more slides to talk about the things that are very important, be it the money. Let's talk about sales. Let's talk about the sales funnel. We want to look at financials. We're ready to go. Any questions?